Do you want to learn the drawing tools and commands of AutoCAD? And do you want to learn how to start your first sketch on AutoCAD? If so, then welcome to the AutoCAD series of videos. This is our second tutorial of explaining AutoCAD. In the previous video, I explained the AutoCAD interface and the basic tools. If you haven't watched the previous video, I'll link it in the iCards above. But for now, let's start our second tutorial of explaining AutoCAD. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Tips with Mona. My name is Mona Fayyad. I'm an architect and a designer. On this platform, I explain some architectural and designing content. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, like, share, comment, and hit the notifications bell on so you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. But for now, let's start our video. So in today's video, I'm gonna continue explaining the drawing tools and commands, and we're gonna start drawing together a sketch, and we're gonna apply these commands and tools on this drawing. Let's start. Okay, so today I will continue explaining the drawing tools, but we will draw with precise dimensions today. So I'm gonna start with a circle. I'm gonna select my circle, or you can type C, enter, and it will take you to your circle command. Okay, now I'm gonna specify the center of my circle, and then I'm gonna read my commands bar down. It's saying that you can specify the radius, or you can type D, enter, or click on diameter to specify the whole diameter. Alright, let's specify that we want a circle with 100 meter diameter. So this is our 100 diameter circle. If you want to put a dimension for your circle, you should go here, select radius, and then select your circle, and the radius will say 50 because 50 is half 100. Now I'm gonna explain the rectangle. So I'll go to my rectangle here, I'll specify my first point, and then I'll read the command bar. It's saying rectangle, specify other corner point or area dimension rotation. For the dimension, you can type D, or you can click on the word dimension, and now it will ask you specify length for rectangle. Let's say that we want it with 100 meter, and the width I want it to be 200. So this is my rectangle. Now I'll specify the other corner, and this is my rectangle. And as I explained in the previous video, the difference between the line and polyline, and also as well as you can see, you can draw polylines and lines in dimensions. Alright, and now I'll go to the modify panel really quickly. Okay, let's explain the move tool. You can click right here on your move tool, or you can type M, enter, and that will allow you to move your drawings. I'll explain how to use it. So first you go to your move tool, then you select the object that you want to move it, and then you click enter again, and then you choose where you want to move your object from. So you specify the point and then you move it, or you can type the distance. Let's say that I want to move this rectangle 200 meters. I'll type 200, enter, and now it's moved like that. Similarly with the copy tool, you can select the object, then click copy, or you can click copy, then select the object and enter. Alright, the shortcut for copy is CO. Similarly, I have chosen the corner and then moved it. and then I can type a distance. Let's say I want to move it 500 meters, and that's my new copy. Now I'm gonna explain the rotate. Alright, you can type on your keyboard RO enter, or you can just click on the rotate and then select your object, enter. Now it will tell you to specify paste point. Let's say that I want to rotate it along this paste point. See, I can easily rotate it, and also I can select an angle. Let's say that I want to rotate this 180 degrees. So I'll type 180 and it will be rotated 180 degrees. Let's say that I want to rotate this object, but I want to keep the original copy. So I'll type RO, or I'm gonna click rotate. I'm gonna specify the base point, and then I'm gonna type C enter, or I'm gonna click on this copy, and then I'm gonna specify the angle. Let's say that I want to rotate it on 90. So now I have a copy and original. Now I'm gonna explain another command that is called mirror. Mirror, or MI on your keyboard. Mirror is gonna allow you to mirror an object. Okay, let's mirror them. I'm gonna select mirror. I'm gonna then select my objects, enter. I'm gonna select an axis to mirror my objects. Let's say I want to mirror them along this axis, and then it will ask you, erase source object. Do you want to erase the object, the source? Yes or no? If yes, it will delete it. If no, it will leave it. So let's just choose no, or N on your keyboard. And now I have mirrored objects. Now let's move into the fillet command. It's very important and very useful. Let's say that I have a random figure right here, like this. Okay, and I want to get rid of these extended lines. I want to make it a perfect triangle. For that, I'm gonna go to my fillet command. I'm gonna make sure that my radius is on 0, R, enter, 0, enter, and then I'm gonna select these two lines, and it will remove the extra lines. Let's say that I want to create a curve right here with a radius. How can I achieve that with fillet? You can easily go to fillet and then select radius, and then choose a radius. Let's say that I want a fillet with 100. Enter. I'm gonna select this line and then this line, and now I have a radius of 100. Now I'm gonna show you another command. Let me just draw random lines. Let's say that you want to remove these lines from here. For that, you can use your trim command. Let's go to trim. But if you want to use the trim, after you click on the trim, don't forget to press enter again on your keyboard. This is very important tip. If you want to use trim, don't just click on the command. You have to click on the command and then press on your enter. Also, if you want to use the shortcut from your keyboard, you can type TR double enter on your keyboard, and then you can start trimming like this. Now let me show you the trim in another way. Let's say that we have here a line, and here another line, and here another line, and I just want to use trim for this line and this rectangle, for only these two. For that, I'm gonna select them before clicking on trim, and then click on trim, and then trim. So it won't consider this line right here, see? But if I use TR double enter and then trim, it will consider that we have a line right here, so it won't trim it all the way. See the difference? I think you will get used to this command when you try to use it more and more. So if you select two objects, it will not consider the rest. It will just trim it. It won't consider that there is something in the middle penetrating this line. It will just trim it. But if you don't select anything and then try to use TR double enter, you will have to trim twice. Alright, now into the offset command. It's really useful as well. Okay, this is our offset tool, or you can type OF enter. It's a very useful tool. It will allow you to create similar geometries but with different sizes and dimensions. Okay, let's try it out to understand. Okay, so I have selected my offset tool from here, and then I'm gonna type a distance. Let's say that I want it to be 20. Enter. Okay, you will select your shape and then drag it inside if you want the offset inside, and drag it outside if you want the offset outside. This is very useful when you create plans, when you want to add thickness to the walls. This is very useful. So this is our offset tool. You can also offset without a distance. Okay, let me show you. You can just type OF and then T, which means through, and it will allow you to see what you are offsetting. So this is visual offset. Or you can like copy a distance from something. If you type OF and then just take like a reference. Let's say that I want the offset to be like this, like the distance between these two, and then you can go back to your shape. So this distance from here to here is the same as from here to here. Okay, so for this I just typed OF and then I specified the distance, and then I went back to my shape and I used it. So we have three types of offset with distance. We have offset through, and we have offset from a reference. Okay, this is very easy. Now we have another command which is the opposite to trim, which is called extend. Okay, let's try it out. Okay, let's say that I have a line here and I want this line to reach this line. So I'll type EX double enter. Similar to the trim, you need to double enter after you type the command. So EX double enter to enter into your extend command. Let me draw another rectangle here and show you a cool command. Okay, now let's see the stretch command. Stretch command is very useful. You can like select with your left to right window like this, and then go to stretch or S enter, and you can just stretch the points that you have selected. If you notice, it won't stretch the left part because I just selected the right part like this. Let's say that I want to extend these 2 points. I'll select with my left to right window and then go to stretch, select, and then stretch it up or down. Let's say that I just want to select this point and go to stretch. It will distort it because I just selected 1 point. So whatever you select from your left to right selection, and then you use your stretch tool, it will just stretch this point. Now let's say that I want to select this shape and then scale it. I'll go to scale, I'll specify the point of scale, and then I can easily scale it up or down, or I can just type how much I want it to be scaled. Let's say that I want it to be 2 times bigger, so I'll just type 2. Now it's 2 times bigger. Let's say that I want it to be half the distance. I'll just select the base point and then I'll type 0.5, which is half the distance, and so on. And now I'm gonna explain the align tool. Let's say that we have a shape right here. Let's say that it's smaller, and then let's say that I want this shape to be aligned with this shape. So for that, I'm gonna select my shape, AL, enter for align, and then I'm gonna choose this point and this point to this point. Click enter. It will ask you, do you want to scale the object to the reference object? Let's say no. So for that, it will just align it without changing the scale. But if I choose yes, it will change the scale. So now it is like aligned. You can also align it in a different way. Okay, let's now use the align as scaling tool. It's really useful. I really like this method. Let's say that I want this line to be 2000 meters. So this is a 2000 meters and I want this shape to be 2000 meters from this side. Okay, so I'll select my shape, AL, enter. I'll select this point, drag it here, and then I'll select this point and drag it here, and then I'll use enter, and then it will ask me scale objects based on alignment point. I'll say yes, and now it's scaled. Okay, this is very useful. So basically these are the most important tools that you will use during drawing. Okay, so now let's just delete everything here, and I'm gonna show you a drawing that we're gonna try to replicate now. Okay, so I'm gonna try to imitate this drawing. I'm gonna use my line tool. I'm gonna start from this side. So this is 44. Then I'm gonna go left by 40 as shown, go up by 20 as shown right here. So here the radius is, as shown, is 10, so the diameter is gonna be 20, because we're gonna draw a line here, imaginary line. I'm gonna draw it and then I'm gonna delete it, but to make it easier for me, I'm gonna draw 20, which is the whole diameter. So we have 20 here, and then we go down by 20 again, we go left by 60, up by 20, and then again the radius is gonna be 10, so the diameter is 20, and then you go down again 20 as shown, and then 30. I'm gonna go up by 70 as shown, and then I'm gonna stop right here to make the circle part. Alright, so this is my circle. I'm gonna specify the center, which is gonna be here as shown. As I told you, this is gonna be my imaginary line, and I'm gonna specify the radius. Radius is gonna be 10, enter, C. I'm gonna do the same right here, and then I'm gonna use my trim tool, TR, double enter. I'm gonna trim the parts that I don't need. Alright, and then I'm gonna go here. The radius is 20, so I'm gonna draw a line of 20, and then another 20. So this is gonna be my center. I'm gonna just grab a circle. I'll use this as a center, and then the radius is gonna be 20, like this. I'm gonna trim this and this and this, and then I'm gonna go back to my line. I'm gonna continue the 50 that they are showing right here, 50. Then I'm gonna go down by 30 as shown, 30, and then I'm gonna draw the imaginary line again, which is gonna be 30 in this case, because they are showing that the radius is 15, so the diameter is 30, because it's double that. And then I'm gonna go up by 30, and then I'm gonna go right by 35 as shown, And then this angle is not specified by them, so the rest is gonna be the angle. And then I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna go to my circle. I'm gonna specify my center, because don't forget to make sure that your snap cursor is on and your snapping reference is on, so you can get these green guides. Alright, so as I showed you in the previous session, that the triangle means that this is your midpoint. So I'm gonna use my midpoint as the center of my circle. I'm gonna click here and then specify my radius, which is 15 as shown in the image. 15, enter, and then I'm gonna trim, TR, double enter, gonna trim the rest. And now let's put the dimensions to make sure that our drawing is correct. Okay, I'm gonna go to my dimension and put my dimensions. Let's start with the straight dimensions. Till now they are correct. Perfect. That's great. We have the same dimensions. 35 right here, 30 from here to here, and then the last straight dimension is the 44, and then I'm gonna specify the radiuses. Now we have a radius of 15. This is perfect. We have a radius of 10. That's great. And another 10 right here, and this is perfect, and it didn't take like 5 minutes. I'm sure you can do the same if you repeat this video and watch it and try to imitate the steps that I just showed you. Thank you so much for watching. This is the end of our tutorial. So this was the end of our second tutorial of explaining AutoCAD. In the next video, I'll explain many informative tips for you. So please don't forget to hit the notifications bell on so I can get notified when I upload my new video. But for now, please don't forget to practice and repeat these videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Bye!